Yeah, it's always better emailing it to me directly. Yep, that's for
I
sure.
always, I now always send both an email and the Facebook link at the same time.
Yeah. So I don't know why it wasn't in my spam or junk either. So yeah.
GTR.
Sometimes it's just as good as it gets.
That's right. That's right.
So what did y'all think of the movie? It's probably repeats for all of you, but
It was a nice refresher, Jen. I enjoyed it.
yeah.
I still like it every time I watch it. And I'm not a huge fan of Jack Nicholson on the whole, but I thought he did such a wonderful job of being exactly who Melvin Udall was supposed to be. And I did like it.
What about you, Jeff?
As I was watching it, I didn't like it. And after it was over, I really started liking it. It was really funny how, because when I was watching it, I was being very critical of how silly certain things were and how times have changed, and like her impatience with him was just bothersome to me. I mean, he's got a problem, so understand his problem. And everybody just hated him for his problem. And people know that people have gone through whatever difficulties in their life, and they can accept people for being grumpy or whatever. And after it was over, I'm liking it more and more. So now it's a good movie. But
it was also 1997. And
I didn't even look at the year
since then.
Before 9/11. So we think that wasn't very long ago, 97.
Yeah.
9/11 seemed to be just in my consciousness has happened lately. It's not like a historical fact.
But my youngest was 7. It seems like a long time ago.
Now your youngest is what? 9?
Doug was a year. So yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like a long time ago.
4 children, and then you solve that problem.
But to be honest, I learned from things like this movie on what OCD is. I mean, it was a perfect picture. I mean, I'm not a clinical researcher or anything, but this really does give you a bit of a snapshot of what OCD is like. And to be honest, I call myself OCD because I am a little bit, but I call myself quirky fun OCD. But I almost don't want to say that because it belittles then the suffering that it really is.
And the severity of
it. Yeah. I just have a little bit of weird stuff, but like it's not earth shattering, it's not life changing, it's just odd.
I did see when he opened up his medicine cabinet and they had the soaps and he was using one for everything. I thought, oh, I bet you Anita's got enough soaps to got him covered if he comes to visit.
I have soaps, but I don't. I take them to the very end.
I know that also thought was very wasteful. I wonder why he only used with the OCD. I don't know if you'd be wasteful or also germaphobe, maybe.
Well, he's a bit of both.
Yeah, and as soon as it started, I thought it was a good way to start the movie with the soap. So he opens it. It was so meticulous, that scene. He opens it up. You see the tap running. And scrub. Then another one. It's like, okay.
And then he was such a jerk for putting the dog down the trash can.
Oh my!
I didn't like him at first. I thought, you dirty dog.
Yeah. Now, Anita, I know that you researched the movies as well. Did you see that on the internet that Betty White was offered a role in the movie, but she didn't take it because she was really into animal rights and everything? And when she found out in the script that the dog went down the chute, she said, "I don't want anything to do with the movie."
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah, she was an advocate, animal rights and everything, and it bothered her so much. Apparently, she said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Oh, I'm not surprised. Actually, that was as jarring as a PETA person would be all over that, going, "Oh, the cruelty to animals."
Well, did we find out how many flights up it is? Like, was it 15 or was it like 2? A dog going down the garbage chute might have made a difference.
I don't know. Those apartments were pretty interesting looking. Like the layouts of all of them were in the same building, but like Greg Kinnear's had like an outdoor patio, had like a studio with lights, and yet his was a few rooms, like a sitting room, an extra bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I wonder what kind of what part of New York they were in. Was it New York or was it California?
New York.
California. Was
New
it
York. But what I like about the New York movies, it's just I've never been there and I want to go, and I just feel like I've been there. So when I watch You've Got Mail or some of the ones that we've seen that are New York City, I just love when the city becomes like a character.
Oh, and Anita, you would love New York City. I've been there 6 times and I can't get enough of it. And of course, because it's such a huge city and it's the city that never sleeps, every trip is completely different that I take.
I
Yeah.
agree. I love New York City as well.
Yeah.
Do you notice recording happening?
I
Yep.
did see it.
Okay, I can't see it on my. I mean, it looks like it's recording, but I don't
Yes.
see it.
I
It
just
said
came
down
up
at
on
the-
mine recording. Yeah.
And, yeah, and she said something like, "Mind your business."
So yeah, no, I definitely liked it. I liked it the first few times I've seen it. Like I've seen it a few times, but I again never watch things critically. I just kind of kept watching in and out of something. But this time you sit and watch it, and there's like little things you kind of pick up. In my investigation, now I don't even know if this is true, but the Bewitched connection, which is really hard to do, the more recent the movie is, the more chance that you're not going to have any Bewitched connection. But AI said that Helen Hunt had auditioned for the role of Tabitha.
Ah,
So
there's
I
a
have
great connection.
No idea if it's true because it's AI has screwed up many times. So, but it was like that was.
I want to throw Anita a bone.
I'm hoping that it worked.
I was trying to figure out their ages because he seemed much older than Helen Hunt, but then
Oh yeah, there
she
was.
looked a little bit weary with her. Like he
Yeah.
said, "You're looking tired." I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
And I
thought-
wonder, was she filming Mad About You around that time? I think that was late 90s. So I think she might have been doing both. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think the way they had her character too, Jen, like she just looked really drawn and just tired. And I thought they did a great job depicting her in that way. Yeah.
And that was the point. Her son's illness and the concern about him just aged her. But I think, yeah, I found something that said the age difference. I'll see if I can look it up. But it's rather monumental.
I kind of thought she would be in her like late 30s, early 40s, and that he'd be in his 60s. I thought it was a bit elongated in the tooth.
It was meant to be that way. That's why it was challenging for her to consider things. Yeah, I mean, he had to overwhelmingly be nice to the son before she'd even consider him.
Yeah, it was hard because he had a couple things, and I didn't even realize the "You make me want to be a better man" that line. I'd forgotten it had come from that movie, and he has these endearing, small little moments where you go,
Aw.
"Aw, that was really sweet," and then he opens his mouth and filth comes out, and you're like, "You dummy, shut your mouth! Why'd
Yeah.
you say that?"
26 years apart.
26.
26.
Hunt was 34 and Nicholson was, the thing is in the way. Let's see. 60.
Okay.
So
So then
60.
that looked right. Just seemed like a big
Harsh
bump.
with him. I mean, she went to him, "I will never sleep with you." I
Yeah.
mean, to start off with, "I hate you so much. Like, no matter what you do, you just saved my son's life, and I'm paying money that I could never afford, and I still hate you." You know what I mean? Like that's
No, she just wanted to be clear. She's never going to
but she
sleep
was
with
wrong.
him.
She wanted to sleep with him 2 days later.
No, I know, but yeah, I guess
But
that's
he said the right things. He said,
She
you
didn't
make
say,
me want
"I
to
will
be a
never
better
sleep with you
man."
unless you say the right things." She says,
No.
"I will never sleep with you."
well, that's
And
the
turns
thing.
around.
She's been given money and she has really basically when he provides the help for her son. And so she doesn't know what his ulterior motives are. She doesn't know if he's going to, hold her on the carpet for something. She has no idea. So she's kind of assuming the worst, that he's going to try and, get her
She's down
hands.
ground rules. They're just not accurate because she wants to think of them later. So like that's it's just your
I
own
don't know.
material falsifications.
I like to think she doesn't really want to sleep with him. She just does fall in love with him.
Want and "I will never" are two different things.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's calling him an attacker or somebody who's being aggressive with her that way, and he was the opposite of that. He
Yeah,
wasn't, and yet I could see him feeling like, "What are you talking about? I've never given you any indication of that. Nothing. And yet she, holds that out over him.
Yeah. But her relationship with him, I mean, can you imagine being a waitress with a customer like that? Like, I hope he tipped well, because that we never did see that. Maybe he was putting up with
Well,
it.
nobody else would take him, right?
Nobody would
They're
take
like, you're not sitting at my table.
It's probably
He's rude
obvious
and crass and
he would
prejudiced.
tip well if he gets a doctor for his son. Anybody who treats him nice, he's going to find a way of paying them back, and that's what he did with the doctor for the son. He's got an apartment in New York. That must be freaking expensive.
But he's a successful author. This is book number whatever. But the publisher's receptionist, he's a jerk to her. He's a jerk to almost everybody that he meets. And he's even a jerk to the people he likes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder whether nobody's ever told him. Like, I thought that his relationship with Helen Hunt was better because she told him, shut up.
I think he likes
And other people will just be like,
She would challenge him, and you would see like people just like that, Jen, like, oh, you said what to me? And she was right on him, like, no. And she would counter back. And that's what he liked. He liked that. And I think he had
because
more
he didn't
respect
know.
and-
I really think he didn't realize
Yeah.
or acknowledge
Well,
that what he said was wrong or rude or.
But he kind of got it because he went to the psychiatrist because things weren't working for him. So he did take steps. And I love how he goes to the psychiatrist, he bursts in, and it's like the guy says, well, you can't do it this way. And he says, well, you make it sound like I have a choice. You've just told me I have a disease where I don't have a choice. So what in the heck are you having a complaint about? Good point, actually.
One or the other.
But they set up a lot of good all of the supporting characters were really good, I thought. I thought Greg Kinnear did a really good job of being the neighbor. His Cuba Gooding Jr., his agent or whatever, he was really good. The little dog was great. Was really good. And like the neighbor, the maid, there's just so many people that I thought were, really stepped up to the plate and did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Greg Kinnear was one of the better ones that he's done. And honestly, when he was in the hospital and the agent, not Cuba Gooding, the girl who does Lisa Simpson's voice, I think that's who she is.
Yardley Smith, yeah.
Yeah, she was crying. She couldn't look him in the eye. And then he turned around and he did look like his eye was bloody. Like the sclera was red and it was pronounced. There's so many movies, then they just have like makeup black guys. There's no swelling and it will look like it was drooping. They did a good job. His eyes stayed red for a long time.
I thought that was really realistic too, because I was looking right at his eyes. I thought, yeah, that like the whites of his eyes, because you're right. Like normally it's just like some black makeup here and there, like a scratch or something.
Considering that wasn't the big part of the movie, they did it really good. And in the medical profession, that's I look for the pencil coming out of the mouth.
The one I didn't like is when he's like he's in the hotel room and he wants to draw in his hand and says, I'll just rip it off. And it's like,
Yeah, that was a little bit like, and then they were laughing and joking about it, right?
Yeah, and I think there was they said in the one of the things that so he had ripped it off and then somehow it magically appeared when they were back in the car again. So like for a minute. So I thought, okay, some of the continuity
lick it and stick it.
Yeah.
Got a bit mixed. But I do like I like how he found her last name was Connolly and he's trying to go to every Connolly that he can find. And because that reminds me, is like, just Google her. And it's like, of course, in 97, most people just didn't have just Google her. So,
well, not most people. There was no Google. I don't think Google came until after 97.
The internet was around, wasn't it?
Not.
Yeah, it was.
It was
not used by a normal person, for sure.
Yeah.
In 98 is when Google was founded, so it wouldn't have been a thing till about 2000.
No. I so, and the other connection that I enjoyed was Helen Hunt, when she did Mad About You, her mother was played by Carol Burnett. It's like,
Aw.
oh, Jeff and I went to see Carol Burnett.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Penn and Teller are coming up for you pretty soon.
Yep,
So,
next
yeah.
Friday.
Oh, is it next Friday
Yeah.
already?
Yay.
Oh boy.
I've
Oh,
been
that
listening,
should be fun. Yeah.
catching up on his podcasts, just in case, this is me. Just in case, like, we're walking around because we got there a little early and they're walking around too, just, hanging around. And then I have something to say. I said,
So like episode 34, sir.
yeah.
I'm your biggest fan.
Monkey Tuesday. That's a fan from the beginning.
You might get backstage bash. Oh, hang out with the crew.
Yeah, she's a groupie.
Yeah, that's right.
Not
Do you have
quite.
T-shirts and
But
merch you could wear?
They might get some there, but they used to meet and greet everyone, and then COVID happened, and then they started like they're older guys, and they said we're just getting sick all the time. They're getting colds and stuff like that. That when you meet, almost everyone after. So sometimes the meet and greet after was longer than the actual show was, and so they decided to make that a pay for only. So
How old are they now?
70s.
Yeah.
70s.
How is Jack Nicholson still alive?
He is. I don't think he's in the greatest shape, but he had a birthday not too long ago, and his daughter posted some photos of him. So yeah.
He kind of looks pretty rough around the edges. So he's 60 in this movie, right? That he's playing 60, and it's like
me.
I'm 65, but it's like he looked a lot
Rougher.
He was younger than me. I'm
No, he looked
63.
rougher.
No, he didn't. He looked
No, you just don't look your age. That's all.
age.
I should get a facelift.
Well, don't pull it down if you want it lifted. I'm thinking a facelift. That's a facelift.
Squish it.
Yeah. So I like how this is. So she goes to the hotel and she just loaded up on all the shampoos and the Kleenex box and all the stuff. It's like, of course she did. And I like the mother character.
I did like the mother. I like the way the
Where
mother
where
gave
do
her
we
a
know
fight.
her from?
Yeah, now that really bothered me because I checked the credits and I couldn't see her name. Was that Piper Laurie?
No
The
idea.
mother Shirley Knight.
Shirley Knight. Okay, because that was bothering me. I thought
I've seen her
seen her,
before,
yeah.
but I can't think of.
Shirley
She wasn't
Knight.
like a big, strong mother figure in a movie, but
Stopped
I've
doing
seen her.
movies in 2015.
Well, I like how Dr. Betts. He was Harold Ramis. He played Egon in Ghostbusters.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I like him. So and the man and the woman at the
He was
table
in
at the
Second City,
beginning-
wasn't he?
He's Harold Ramis. in
He's
Second
Canadian, I
City.
believe. Yeah.
He played Harold Ramis in Second City, and he did a good job.
Yeah.
So the man and the woman at the table at the very beginning, the Jewish couple that he offended, that was played by two characters from House.
We actually,
Lisa-
Paul noticed that.
Lisa Cuddy and Chris Taub.
Yes.
And the singer in the where they went out to dinner, that was Danielle Brisbois, who was Stephanie from All in the Family.
I remember her on All in the Family, but I didn't know that was her.
Stephanie was the little girl they kind of adopted because Mike and Gloria left, so there was no one to spar off of. So they ended up with one of Edith's nieces or whatever.
Ooh.
And Anita, what role was she in? Stephanie in what?
She was the singer in at the dance place, where they went for the dinner.
I see. Oh, okay.
And that
Where
was
she walked away from.
Yeah, so that was the like I got his character, like I got he's awkward and stuff, but when he said one of the things was I thought maybe he'd sleep with Simon. And it's like, that just made no sense to me that he would say like that would even come up in his head. But that really proves how wackadoodle he was, because that doesn't make any like if you like someone, you don't think, oh, I wonder if she should sleep with my gay neighbor. Like that didn't make any sense to me, but I guess that proves how severe OCD can be, that you'll say stupid stuff.
Wackadoodle. And
Yeah.
and near the end, him remembering that he hadn't locked the door, that he was so focused on Greg Kinnear moving there, and it was how much he hated him at the beginning, and he
Yeah.
hated the
The dog.
homosexuals, and he hated the dogs, and he
Mhm.
hated the Hispanics, and he hated everybody.
And what he was saying to the comments, and
So rude.
yeah.
But nobody said anything until Helen Hunt said, "You can't say that." Nobody. I'm
That's
assuming
realistic.
his family never said anything to him.
But that's realistic when you're 60 years old in 1997. You're going to be that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That, like
If nobody's taught you better.
well, it's just what culture was back then. That means your formative years were 30 years ago, which would be 1970, and that's when being gay was decidedly
Travesty.
strange thing and possibly illegal in lots of countries.
Yeah.
So it would be normal for him to have that kind of attitude when he was that age, and her to be more tolerant.
To be honest, he reminded me a bit of Archie Bunker, just with the prejudice and the way that he didn't keep his mouth. When you go out, sometimes you're not quite as aggressive vocally in public where you know nothing or no one, as opposed to being at home where you talk about the blacks or Hispanics or whatever. But going out in public in a restaurant and saying it right to the people's faces on top of having hundreds of people looking around you, and you're like, oh, you should have had it more couth. Hide it a little bit better.
Well,
how much is OCD tied to autism?
I don't know that it is.
I don't
Because
know.
autism and OCD is a personality disorder.
Yeah, but some of the autistic tendencies can manifest looking like OCD.
Like a repetitive finger
or flapping or whatever.
Yeah.
But like my nephew is autistic, and he is in an institution, and he's got all kinds of quirks that look OCD if on the outside. And thank goodness I don't have OCD, and nothing to do with germs. I'll eat food off the floor. My OCD is like organizing things. So I wish it was germs because my house would be neat, but I don't care.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it that bad, like the locks 5 times or 3 times, lights on and off 3 times.
I do stuff without thinking about it. So when I fill up my water glass at night, I turn on the water, and then I put it under and I throw it out, put it under, throw it out, put it under, throw it out, and then I get water. So I do it 3 times always. And I didn't notice I was doing it 3 times because you want fresh water.
Your OCD's coming out.
Well, that's just quirky fun because I'm not hurting anybody.
Quirky fun.
I have a friend, and she had a dear friend who she had OCD, and it really spiraled. She was up to 12 showers a day, and even if she walked about 10 feet, I've got germs on me, and her skin was scoriated, and it was and she had to be hospitalized a few times because she was getting cellulitis and her skin was breaking down, and it was becoming quite a problem. Where when she was a child, she was always concerned about cleanliness and germs, but then when she got in her 20s, it really took off, and it became quite debilitating.
Well, and same with he washed his hands with water so hot that he could hardly so he's burning his hands. So
That's what happened with this person too. She was just like scalding hot, and that was causing problems.
We have to watch it because you mentioned stuff like that, and they may end up watching our podcast one day.
Yes. Now
so
this person sadly has passed away. So it did cross my mind, Jeff, and I thought
that's our largest growing demographic. You know that?
The mental health?
Dead people. No, dead people. That's our largest growing demographic. It's growing faster.
It's like, Stacey, you said my secret on camera.
Right.
How dare you?
Yeah,
I'll dare you.
And then it goes viral because someone did breaking news. This is a discussion.
This showed up on the news. Can you believe Anita Joldersma found this little tidbit of information?
It turns out it was wrong. I don't
Yeah.
know. You can't count on AI for anything.
Well,
But
that's the thing. AI just gathers information from the world to think it knows it. So if you went to Twitter, X, and started saying all these things about Bewitched,
That'd be
and
saying
Gilligan was going to be Darren, and
yeah.
it just wrote it all. After a while, it will
Show
get
up.
that information and somehow get sucked in. And if there's enough corroboration, we could actually start. That would be a fun thing to do. Like the four of us all go on to Twitter and talk about stuff and say it's real. It's not real at all. We
have to talk about very specific things.
Yes, and we keep going through, and yes, a month later, AI.
You can Google it.
Tells us.
Yes, there's this long conversation on Reddit.
Also, I asked AI. Someone took a picture at an event I was at last night, and they sent it to me. And they have an iPhone, so what they sent was very blurry. So I asked AI, because they sent it over text, so I asked them to email it. But before they did that, I have very blurry pictures. So I said, can you bring this into focus? And it's like they did and changed the faces, and I did not look like me anymore. So I said, okay, make it my face, and here is my face. And then they still didn't do it. So and then they're not listening.
Yeah,
but
I think if you give them the right command prompts and
Sure.
enough information, but I don't know the wording or the verbiage to get them to pay attention to what my mind is wanting than what my mouth or fingers are saying.
It'll still go. I was doing Mom with the Moose dance, and I would say, I want the hips to move side to side. Yeah. And then it wouldn't. Yeah. It would go back and forth, and I would reiterate it, and I'd find out and still go the wrong way. Yeah. And so it's just not quite understanding how to do things even when you articulated exactly what you want. They'll
change the face to this, and then they don't.
Yeah.
So it's like,
the first person on the left, I want them to have glasses on, and it puts glasses on everyone. Yeah. But they've done some great things. I took 2 pictures of this woman that I wanted to post, and one of them, her hand is in front of her face, and the other one, her eyes are closed. So I asked them to open her eyes, and it's like they looked a little spooky, but they were open. It looks like the kind of saved the day. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had that picture. So yeah, I really like the Simon character. I like the artsy thing. I didn't quite get the he did a nude of his mother, and why that relationship was so weird, and that was I didn't.
Did that make him gay?
No, but I couldn't quite figure out.
It made me gay.
Well, and I know the scene that Jeff really liked in the movie when Helen Hunt was sitting on the bathtub. I'm thinking, oh, Jeff's gonna like this part. Oh boy,
Hit pause right then.
Did you try to sketch her though?
Jeff, isn't she one of your crushes, Helen Hunt?
Not really. She's not. Although, you know what? I just put up a Linda Carter series where she's doing like 1800s or something.
Okay. Like a series, a TV series?
Yeah, a series. Let me see if I can see what that was.
The one thing I didn't quite get is why they beat the shit out of Greg Kinnear when they were just robbing his house. I thought they would have just run away.
Yeah,
but the guy
was weird.
Beat his leg, his arm, his face, his head, and it's like, oh, that was a bit aggressive for a house robbery.
Yeah,
he wasn't even fighting them. He was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
You would get the guy down and then run, but they didn't.
It's called Hawkeye.
Some of the lines sell crazy somewhere else. I love that. Like, there's some good lines that came out with this movie. It was also not called As Good as It Gets at the beginning. It was the line that he said in the psychiatrist's office, and they said, okay, that's the title of the movie. It's like, I don't think it was the title in the beginning. They didn't even know if it would be like a romantic comedy kind of genre, because what did they say? The scene that they kissed, they were going back and forth, and then the director said, "Kiss her, Melvin, kiss her." And it was like, that wasn't in the script, but he did, and it was awkward. And so it was kind of was kind of cool that it was changed by the way it was acted. They made that difference.
So what does as good as it gets mean to you with respect to this movie? Like, why is that the title? What's as good as it gets?
I think he meant life, like and his mental health and his ability to communicate. That is this as good as I get? Is this as good as it's going to be for me?
Yeah, and I think that leads back to
Which
like,
is
you've made me a better
distance.
man. Yeah, this is as good as I will be. You've made me better though, but this is as good as it gets. What I
It
am
sounds
is good enough.
defeatist. That line sounds like you're reaching for this, but it's as good as it gets. You know,
Yeah,
you don't get. It sounds like not very good, but that's as good as it
yeah.
gets.
Well, I think the doctor was saying, yeah, I think you're kind of screwed, buddy.
Yeah.
You got a
I think
bad
it goes back
personality.
to the mother saying to her when she said, "I can't have him as my boyfriend because he's this and this and this," and she said something like, she didn't say as good. That's as
Doesn't
good
work that way.
Yeah, you're not going to get everything you want.
There is no normal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she
her
said,
mother,
I just want a normal boyfriend.
that's right. And then she said, but you don't get that. But the funny thing is I thought the mother would be going, I should be dating him, not you.
I thought that too.
I thought so too.
Why did the mother not have a bit of reservation about her daughter being with a 60-year-old man? Like that was weird that the mother was so pro the situation.
But once he started to help her, he paid for her kid to get better. I think she was so happy for that because she's also like, she's the caregiver. She's, she
Working
knew her daughter
full-time,
was
yeah.
not doing well, but on her own, she tried boyfriends and it didn't work out. And yeah, she saw that. But yeah, it's like, that's not the guy you'd pick for your daughter. If he hadn't done that kindness of paying for her kid to be okay.
I sort of don't understand. I guess maybe it's the fact that they didn't have Google back then and we have all the way to AI now. And so it's hard to unthink where we are. But when she saw Harold Ramis the first time and he says, oh, they didn't do the allergic to everything. They didn't do the prick test. That's the first thing you do when you have an allergy. And she goes, no, as if she'd never heard of it before.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, you are really dumbifying yourself if your kid is very sick with allergies and you go, I have no idea how to test for allergies. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no, she said she said that the HMO wouldn't pay for it. So
yeah.
Well, then pay for it. Like,
I don't think they had the money.
Yeah.
No, they weren't rich, but you're living in New York City. If you're
should be able to.
I mean, if she's got an HMO, so she has an insurance plan, she's a waitress, somebody's paying something for something in this. Go be a waitress outside of New York where it costs $1/4 to live. In other words, you'll have 4 times as much money. And you go be a waitress in Omaha and you can have your kid looked at by a country bumpkin doctor and you do better. I don't understand the need to be in New York City at that moment.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was
because
stern.
It's New York City.
It was stern though on the medical profession that all those visits that the kid, no one could figure out what happened with this kid. So
yeah, but they said they were visiting the emergency room. You don't get chronic care. You don't get underlying care in emergency room. You get emergency room. If you're not breathing, we will make you breathe, and then you can go home and figure it out.
What you got an HMO for?
Huh?
Why does she have an HMO for if she's only taking her kid into the emergency? An HMO means you have some kind of...
Because his is always an emergency because all of a sudden he can't breathe.
No, I get that. But she has an HMO. Like, so she could go... and some of them are obviously really terrible and hardly give you any services.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. But again, go to move away. You're a waitress. This is not like I got a big inner city job that I could never get anywhere else, and I'm finally making the money, so I've got to stay here. She's a waitress who doesn't show up at work half the time because her kid's sick. Go somewhere else.
right. Yeah, if it's
and
your
her
kid's
mother
life.
looked young enough to work, but she was looking after the kid because he was home from school all the time.
Yeah.
I did love the way Melvin packed his suitcase.
Oh yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, they think that that's funny and weird. And it's like, it is not. So that was another thing I thought, oh, okay, and I love how when Simon opened his suitcase, Melvin said, great packing. Like,
Yeah.
he thought that was great. And she's just shoving stuff in. And so it's like, yeah, he might have appreciated the way that, someone.
No, and he's looking at her like, oh, what have you done?
Yeah. I liked how he had the emergency music. He was going to put whole.
He spent all that time burning those discs.
Yeah. So that was one of the other kind of bloopers, is that they're driving with the top off, and then they pull over and the top is all of a sudden on. So they
I
had
did see that
a
too.
few little things that it's like a bit of continuity, but in general, it was done pretty good.
No, I liked it too.
I found it strange that she would be driving and he would be driving at times and be changing the driver on the car often, and yet that never was part of a discussion. You think that he would be OCD and need to drive the car himself, or never want to drive the car like that. That seemed like a weird thing, to not want to touch doorknobs and want to, like, another be OCD about, and yet driving in the car is life or death, and that was just relaxed about whatever happens, and nobody minded. That was sort of strange.
Well, he had gloves on for public places and things like that, and he was fairly consistent. It was like, I'm not going to put on a coat that someone else might have worn, so I'm going to go buy a jacket, even though it's like.
Well, yes, he ran and couldn't cross the sticks in the ground, the cracks on the sidewalk, break his mother's back.
And the dog couldn't either.
Yeah. And the maitre d' at that restaurant, that was Kenny from Fraser. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's I didn't catch that. I knew him, but I couldn't think of where I saw him from.
Kenny from Frasier.
Yeah.
Kenny.
He worked at the radio station with Fraser and Roz, and
Oh, okay.
But I love how they set up the whole premise of this thing. Cuba Gooding Jr. said when they found out that Melvin had tossed the dog down the garbage chute, he says, I'm going to find a way for you to make it up to him. And because, you can't treat his dog like that. And so then when he needed help, you're going to take the dog. And it's like forcing him to take the dog was like, that was epic, because if Melvin had said, I'm just putting him down the chute again, then there's no story. But he ended up, the dog ended up loving Melvin because he knew he was broken, and he had to be there for Melvin. And I appreciated that.
If you're sick, even at home, like, I get when you're away from home, but when you're at home and you're sick, you want your dog. You don't want the dog not to be there.
Yeah.
Like the very first day, he said, how many days? Oh, just a little while. And I'm going, no, I'm sick. I got my dog back. I would be so wanting to stay with my dog.
Right. But he couldn't walk the dog. He couldn't take care of the dog. And he kind of
didn't feed the dog. Yeah.
But that's when you get the neighbor to come over and do it. Did you know, inside IMDb, the dog's real name is called Jill the dog?
Yes.
That's its name, because it goes, Yeardley Smith played Jackie. Jill the dog played Verdell as Jill.
Yes.
Like, in other words, this dog has his own pension on Actors Guild. He's got a name and who he's playing as.
Yeah, and Jack Nicholson took the dog home, and it stayed with him for a little while so that the dog would love him. I thought that was pretty good. It wasn't just bacon
in his
pocket.
wasn't
just bacon. That was
really beat a dog bacon. I don't know if you knew that.
Salt nitrates. Yeah,
that's why he was. That's why he's bad for dogs.
That's why he ended up at the vet. But they needed the dog to be gone so that they could take this road trip. So they needed all these things to flow. Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
Well, there's a thing you can buy called bacon strips. It sounds like bacon strips, but they look like bacon strips, but they're called bacon strips.
Yeah, because they're begging.
Right, they're not, but there's no bacon in them. In fact, that teaches people to feed your dog bacon, and they should not be eating pork. That was a thing that I learned having a dog.
one of my not favorite the scenes I appreciate is when the assistant and Cuba Gooding Jr. Walked into the hotel room and they first saw him, like, oh, the recoiling of what he looked like, and then they started crying and stuff. And it's like, that's pretty good. How bad could it be? And then
It's really bad.
Yeah, and all I could hear during that scene was Lisa Simpson.
yes, okay, because yeah. Yeah. No, that was a good movie. I liked it.
I didn't think Cuba Gooding Jr. was very believable, and I like him normally in movies.
Well,
and this one, he just didn't. He felt flat.
So I think Best Actor went to Jack Nicholson. Best Actress went to Helen Hunt that
Really?
year. I
Won
think.
best on both. Oh my goodness!
Nothing to Ferdell?
No. I think. Not positive of that, but yeah, I think and so the director's done a few good things too, so James Brooks.
He did Taxi, I believe, too, didn't he, Anita? Taxi and those type of. Yeah, I think he
does comedies.
James.
Too.
Yeah, I think that, and maybe Cheers, and yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny how they're connected, because then you go, oh, this person is now starring on this show, and then they're like, okay, same with Mad About You. I think a couple of the supporting characters showed up on Mad About You. So, like, is it one from the other? They were in a movie together, and so they recommend them for the TV show they're on, or is it the other way around? Or
like the two house doctors. You're like, why two random people both get to be in house?
Yeah.
Lisa Cuddy and the other doctor.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see those little cameos
Like
before they were famous.
I like Harold Ramis in this. I don't know.
Yeah, the supporting cast was stellar. It really was. There was no one who kind of like you thought, huh? They were all, I thought, really good.
It was just Harold Ramis. I always saw as a comic, and then I see him playing more of a regular role. How they determined him to be a doctor was interesting.
Yeah. And he was kind of believable as a doctor too.
Yeah,
I like how they appreciated him, and like they're just like, "Oh, do you need any slaves?" And it was like,
and Helen hugs him, and he's like, "Okay, enough.
Don't have to do that."
Doctor, family, yes.
Well, the worst part was when she was saying, "Oh, how much is this going to cost?" And instead of him giving her the gift at that moment, he says, "Oh, the costs are going to be considerable." Like, he's like building up tension for a movie, not in real life.
For her to be scared.
You do not need to build that tension with somebody, unless you're trying to get at them. You know what I mean? Unless that's part of your.
No, the director put that in so that they could have some tension. You're right, to have her kind of panicking, thinking of how are we going to do this?
Because we were questioning what it's going to cost and who's going to pay for it.
Like her sleeping with him. I'm not going to sleep with you.
Yeah.
And then when he says that, it's terrible. She doesn't have the money.
Especially when their hopes are up that they're finally getting somewhere with Spencer, but it's going to be considerable.
My child is going to die. But Melvin has saved him. So definitely a good movie. Always did enjoy it, but
turned out better than when I watched it. It grew on me a lot more, and I did see it before a long time.
Yeah, ago. I did too. I think I saw it when it came out. Yeah, it's.
Me too.
One of my favorite lines is near the end when Simon says after Melvin takes him in, says, "You overwhelm me." Like he was not expecting that, and I love you, and it was just like, despite the jackass you were, I now see that there's kindness underneath, and I'm getting to see that person. And
You're not as big of a jackass as I thought you were.
Yeah, and clearly you have issues, and I appreciate that about a movie that will reveal someone's when they're going through a hard time, that other people can see past that. Like that's what life is about, because we screw up all the time, and the kind of the forgiveness and the acceptance is really important for everyone. So
Yeah.
On that sermon, be done. Is there any other connections? or
Urban's
anything?
tomorrow.
Well,
I didn't know any connections.
So what are we doing next?
Well, has anyone heard of Sideways with Paul
Side-
Giamatti?
Sideways. No.
is that like a winery movie or?
Kind of.
Okay. I think
It has some stuff to do with a winery.
I
Okay.
don't even know who Paul Giamatti is. I know who he
You'll recognize it when you see
but
it.
I know I've seen him,
Paul
but I
Giamatti.
can't say that, oh, he's from this movie. I don't
Oh,
Great.
Anita, did you watch Downton Abbey? Did you watch?
most of that, yeah.
Okay, he was Cora's brother.
Yeah, that's still not connecting
Oh.
for me. It's fun. So I know I've seen him, positive, but I just
The
can't.
Hangover.
Nope.
Oh, he's in so many kids
Of course.
movies. He's such a huge variety for acting. How he can play. Oh, I have another one in mind, but how he can play such diverse characters, but have the exact same look. He never looks different.
Right.
He
Yeah.
has the same receding hairline, kind of paunchy, kind of mid-40s or a little bit older. But the personality's professor, intelligent,
And,
not
and
intelligent, stupid.
And too, Jen, very steady in his roles too. I see exactly what you mean. He can play different roles, but inherently it's still that calm, methodical. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Unbelievable.
And when we talk about it next time, we'll be able to say you also have to watch this month because we talk about it at the end.
That's right.
So that'll get 2 views out of
Like
one.
and subscribe.
Like and
Merch
subscribe.
over there.
Especially
There's no
if you're
merch.
dead. Especially if you're dead, because that's our growing demographic.
That's right. There.
And even if you're sick, you know.
so we'll get funeral home advertisers anyway.
I was going to say, hashtag the funeral home you're at for a shout out. Hi, Cavill. Hi
Crematoriums.
from the movie review people. We're your next best customers.
Skull and Ebert.
I got one foot in the grave, sir.
Okay. We will
All right,
see
I'm
you
going to
all
bed.
Well, Jen, I'm glad we could do this morning because I know that you've probably worked a long shift. And
Yes,
oh,
I'm very glad we were able to meet up before the end of the month. The deadline was so close.
oh yeah. Do you have 12-hour shifts or?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Got to get up bright and early and do it all over again for 2 more
Oh.
nights.
Oh no. Oh.
Well, thank you.